All right, everyone. I am so excited to introduce our fourth and final demo of the day with Erickson Coaching International, and I hope you're excited too. Today's session is 3 coaching skills to try today. Nadezhda Mihaylova, a facilitator and talent development expert with Erickson, is going to guide us through this demo, and we have Francis and Dana in the chat sharing resources and answering your questions. Please be prepared to answer any engagement and participation. We have a very active presentation for you today. So I'm going to pass it over to Nadezhda to take us away.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Jess. And hi, everyone. It's a privilege to be here with ATD. This is our first co-event with ATD and hopefully not the last. And I'm super thrilled to really have the honor and privilege to share with you 3 coaching skills to really try out today. By profession, I am a facilitator for Erickson. I facilitate the art and science of coaching, leader as coach, and parent as coach. By passion, I'm a solution-focused coach. By lucky destiny, I'm a mom of 4. And as you could see, it all evolves and revolves around coaching, because coaching is kind of a passion and a great support and transformation for me. So it's true privilege to really present one of the most global coaching schools in the world. And you know, in Erickson, we don't very much believe in talking about coaching. We firmly believe that coaching should be experienced. So as Jess said, please get ready for a very interactive, co-creative partnering experience of 30 minutes together, where the main topics I would try to walk us through are 3 essential coaching skills. Hopefully we'll bust some coaching myths and share some insights on how coaching works at work. The 3 essential coaching skills are around powerful questions that boost resourcefulness. And this is part of the Art and Science of Coaching program that we at Erickson Coaching International teach. And again, I do not want to convince you that Erickson coach training is unique. I just want to demonstrate how we do coaching and how we live and breathe coaching. And by the way, because this is our first experience with ATD, and because we are approaching our 45th anniversary, we are ready to give gifts. So for those of you who are staying with us till the end of the 30 minutes, we have prepared some really nice giveaways. So stay tuned. And let me pause here and ask my very first coaching question. On a scale from 1 to 10, how familiar are you with coaching? Now, 1 is, I know just a bit. 3, 4 would be, I've watched some videos, read some articles. 5 would be, I work with a coach, or I have worked with a coach. Then 6, 7 is, I know coaching, I have experience with coaching, both being coached and I am coaching, and I'm looking for certification. And of course, 10 would be, I'm already a certified and practicing coach. Let me check what's emerging in the, wow, the full spectrum. Beautiful. And I am seeing also a lot of experienced coaches in the room. Welcome, fellow coaches. I really want to add value to what you are already practicing, as well as to make a good introduction to those of you who are already practicing a little bit and want to enhance your skills. So let's begin with this question. What is coaching? And before you start thinking about long definitions, I invite you to think, what is coaching for you in 1 word? Please type it in the chat as quickly as possible. The first one that emerges for you, the association that comes, empowerment, I see, guidance, transformative, success, eye-opener, growth, guidance, self-aware, barrier removal, perspective, advice, development. see I've read some of your minds, because some of the words are already on the slide. Goal setting, transformation, absolutely yes and yes. Architecturing life, goal setting, growth, development, advice. That's an interesting one. That's let's actually play with this one a little bit. Now, when it comes to coaching, pure coaching, professional coaching, what makes it different from other approaches is that it is an advice-free zone, which uses, unlike other modalities, only asking to boost development, growth, transformation, and is focused mainly to future and possibilities. The only time a coach or a solution-focused coach would go to the past would be either to learn a lesson, to assist the coaching client to learn a lesson, or to celebrate a win, a success. Unlike other professions, we coaches don't dig into the problem and what, when happened, why. We are interested in what is possible from here onwards. Now, this is pure professional coaching. What is interesting is that coaching cannot take much from other modalities for developing others, but other modalities can actually incorporate coaching quite nicely and turn, for example, mentoring. You see, we have placed it in the middle because typically mentoring is somebody talking about their past, especially how they succeeded or the lessons they've learned from their mistakes, to somebody who is just starting their journey. And in this way, truth telling, are assisting that person, that younger apprentice, to grow, mentee to grow. Now, nowadays, what is becoming more and more obvious and possible is that good mentors are also becoming to use powerful coaching questions so that they are mentoring with a coach approach. Same with leaders, leading with coach approach. Same as trainers, training from the back of the room, and this becomes facilitation. Same as parents, parenting with a coach approach. So the interesting thing about coaching is that it is a standalone skill set that can then be merged with other modalities, which makes it quite interesting to acquire in 21st century. And I do believe the coaches in the room will agree with me that coaching has quite a lot of applications. Moving on, I want to step into an inquiry with you. You see 15 statements about coaching. And I invite you to read them through and to share in the chat which is the statement that is true about coaching. Which is the statement that is true about coaching? Let me read them very quickly. Coaching is for fixing underperformance. Coaching is the same as mentoring and training. Coaching is only for executives. Coaches use the same methods. Coaching is only for short-term issues. Coaches need to be experts in their clients' fields. Coaching is expensive and time-consuming. Number 8, coaching deals with problems. Number 9, seeking coaching is a sign of weakness. Coaching is a modern trend. Anyone can be a coach. Coaching guarantees success. Coaching is a quick fix. Coaching is unregulated and therefore unreliable. Coaching is just common sense. All right. I'm seeing more and more of you are voting for number 11 as being the only true out of all statements. Let me check if there are any other opinions. So far, 11 is promoted as the only true statement. Let me give you a few more seconds to check if there are other opinions in the room. Which of those 15 statements is the true one? All right. So everyone, okay, we have 12. Coaching guarantees success. All right. 15. Common sense. 11 again. All right. Now, let me tell you what I just did. We said earlier that coaching is all about asking questions. But actually, not all questions are equal when it comes to coaching. And unfortunately, because not all questions are equal, but many people think that when they ask any question, this makes them a coach. This has given a very bad name to coaching. So what I just did is what is not coaching. I asked you an open-ended question in a way that leads towards a wrong answer. Because if you read through, and most of you already started guessing it, all of this, all 15 statements are false. And to all of you who express this desire that everyone can be a coach, it is true, everyone has the potential to be a coach as long as they take a journey. And the journey has two parts. One part is learning how to ask really powerful questions and how to be present with another person, how to listen, how to use silence. And the other part is unlearning. And that's the hard part of the coaching journey. We have been taught, most of us, regardless the culture, the age, we have been taught that knowing the answer is a good thing. And this is what makes it very hard when we step into the coaching realm. So not all questions are equal. And for example, the first statement was coaching is for fixing underperformance. It's true, and 70% of research people say that yes, coaching helped them increase performance, relationship, communication, according to the Institute of Coaching. However, there are three types of coaching: coaching for coping, coaching for achieving, coaching for thriving, which is the one that's most empowering and most inspiring. And let's move on to another statistic then, but before that, let me address another myth, and that's the myth about coaches use the same methods. All coaches in the room will actually confirm that coaching is a client-centered approach. What is important is the person that is being coached, their opinion, their perspective, their vision, their goals, their dreams, etc. And the other thing that most of us coaches here in the room would agree is that coaching is an advice-free zone. We've already mentioned this. It's a space of exploration. Now, the school and the methodology that I'm representing here today is the so-called solution-focused coaching. And what's interesting about it is a great combination between neuroscience and positive psychology, where possibilities are promoted and the mind of the coachee is transformed and moved towards actionable outcomes through very specific models, frameworks, structure, and tools and skills that are structured in a way that once learned can be adapted to any unique human being and their situation. So let me ask you another coaching question. On a scale from 1 to 10, how important are the following to you? It's kind of a assuming question because I'm at ATD, so I assume it would be higher than 5, but how important it is to you are to you leadership skills, employee satisfaction, employee performance, engagement? Let me see in the chat. How important are to you leadership skills development, employee performance, job satisfaction and engagement? Let's check. How important are they to you personally? How important? 10, 10, 10. Yeah, I assume so. How important are they for you as a person, as a profession? All important. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Yes, yes, yes. And one of the myths is that coaching guarantees success. Yes and no. Now, ATD, thank you for actually bringing the data. Coaching does impact significantly success. However, coaching is co-creation, is partnering. It takes two. And the participation, willingness, and readiness, the so-called coachability of the coachee actually makes the rest of the numbers, if not most of the numbers. So in the art and science of coaching that we teach, there is an important aspect where we assist the coaches to know how to build such a trust between the coach and coachee, between the coachee and the coaching process, and between the coachee with themselves, so that they start desiring success, their own success, more than anything else. So how to coach? Let me check how we are doing with time. Now, here is the moment when I want to share with you 3 very specific coaching skills. But before that, let me remind you, I will share the skills here, and then thanks to the giveaway that we have for you, you will be able to practice, integrate, and really experience the benefit of these skills. Our acquaintance starts here, and hopefully it doesn't end here. I hope this is just the beginning. So stay tuned for our giveaway. And here are the 3 coaching skills that you could start practicing as of today in any relationship, not only coaching relationship. The first one is ask, the second one is focus, the third one is explore. And let's go through them one by one. Let's start with ask. As we've already mentioned, coaching is asking, but not any kind of question, but open-ended questions that encourage the coachee to reflect, explore different perspectives, unlock new insights. So for anyone who's just starting with coaching, here is the hint. Every time you want to ask something, start with what, and even better, with how. Because these 2 words really evoke exploration, really invite perspectives. Always, always, always avoid asking why. Why? Because of the misuse of this beautiful question. Because this has been wrongly used during our childhood, most of the time, for most of the people that I've met, and it evokes self-defending mode. And that's why it's not very productive and resourceful in coaching conversation. And now, if you want to check if somebody is truly committed, if somebody is truly inspired, end the conversation with when. The question when. When answered with specifics tells you that, yes, this is a committed person. For example, you ask them, when would you do this action step? And they tell you, well, let me check my calendar on Monday at 3 p.m. That's commitment. That's somebody who is really devoted to themselves and their success. If they tell you, I have to think about it maybe this week, this means this person needs more coaching. And now let's test this with a case. Here we have someone who is coming to coaching, and it could be a colleague, it could be a friend, and they share, I have a difficult conversation with one of my team members. I have some idea what I will say to him, but still I'm not quite sure how to approach it. Now, coaches and aspired coaches, please type a question that is an open-ended question and starts with either how or what or maybe when, that would assist that peer of yours or friend of yours or coachee to open up, to come up with perspectives, to move forward from this sense of confusion. How might you start? What have you considered saying so far? Good ones, great. Thank you, Peter. What else? What else? What else have you thought of so far? Beautiful. What outcome are you looking for? What have you tried before? Perfect questions. What needs to be addressed, resolved? Excellent questions. Yes, and here are 4 questions that will never fail you. What do you want to achieve with this conversation? How will you know you got it? You got a really meaningful conversation with your colleague. What will that bring to you? What would that bring to them? And how might you achieve this result, this outcome from this conversation? And of course, when do you plan to make the conversation? We call the first 4 the so-called planning questions. So even if you use only those 4, you have a great head start with coaching. Let me move on because time flies really quickly here. The next skill set is focus. Now, this is an interesting one. Powerful open-ended questions are great. However, it's interesting that sometimes for the brain, if it has to come up with an idea, it gets blocked. Researchers show that inventing something from scratch, coming up with an idea, solution, takes too much glucose, takes a lot of energy. And people, I'll never forget, one of my coaching clients kept saying to me, but Nadezhda, you are asking such hard questions, and I don't know the answers. And of course, I told that client of mine, if I'm asking you easy questions that you know the answer of, I'm a teacher, I'm not a coach, fire me. So in order to assist the mind to really be resourceful, we invite the client to focus into the future and possibilities, but in an interesting way, as if they have already happened, as if success has taken place, as if the desired dream had come true. And how do we evoke this? By starting a question with an invitation. Just suppose, imagine, say it as if it's already there. Now, let's play with our case. Same case, same struggle, and we want this time to ask a question that starts with a visualization, that starts with inviting the client to see their success as if it has already happened. Your turn. How would you formulate the question that will invite the coachee to focus on the future and possibilities as if they have happened already? I'm giving you a little bit of time here because I know it's a little bit complex. Now we are combining ask with focus. Start with just suppose, start with see, start with what will it look like when you've achieved it? And Shiva, it's a beautiful one. I would actually enhance it even further. Imagine you have achieved it. What does it look like? For the brain, it is easier to answer questions as if it is remembering it, instead of making it up from here onwards. Peter, what if the conversation goes great? What would that look like, sound like? Beautiful. And remove the would and make it present tense. What if conversation goes great? How does it look like, sounds like? And immediately the brain creates an image, and that's enough. it's on fire. It's already creating. Once somebody has a picture, they are unstoppable. Suppose you had the conversation already. What are some lessons learned? Beautiful, Maria. Not only creating the success, but learning from it. In the best case scenario, how do you imagine the results out of this conversation? Picture yourself on the other side. What's on the other side? Absolutely. Great. At Erickson, we call this as if shifts. So taking the mind to a journey of success. Imagine how a successful conversation with this person looks like. Just suppose you accomplished what you wanted to achieve with this. Who are you now? What is your relationship with that person? And so on and so forth. You're good, everyone. And thanks for partnering with me. Now let's move to the third one. The third one is explore. Now here comes the art of coaching. A skillful coach knows how to foster creativity and evoke awareness by helping coaches discover multiple ideas, focus on most important, and then focus on the most important details. We are talking here about expanding awareness and focusing to specifics. And how do we expand awareness? By adding to the question some modifiers such as some, many, else, might. For example, what are some of the many ideas that you have? And then when it comes to action, to commitment, we ask, and what's the, to priority as well, what's the one option? What's the best option? Absolutely. Thanks, Peter. Divergent versus convergent. And here's our case again. So let's test this. Ask a question that either, and why do we want to expand the attention of our coaches? Because the mind is like a balloon. Once spread, it never goes back. It becomes bigger, and with overview, with expansion, people get to have more choice. That's why we use modifiers such as many, some, else, might. But then Nelson Mandela said, vision without action is just daydreaming. So we need also the focus and commitment, the specificity. That's why, and prioritization, because in 21st century, that's the hardest thing, right? So let's see a few questions. Let's see a few questions in the chat. Or maybe in honor of time, I'll hint you here a little bit. So what are some of the many ideas that you have for this conversation and how you can approach it? And what's the best idea? Focus. How might you proceed for you to prepare? And what is one action that you take to prepare? And what else? And what's the first thing? When? All right, time's ticking. So I invite you to try out these 3 coaching skills today. Think of a specific situation, formulate a powerful open-ended question that is focused towards the future and opportunities as if they're happening now, and foster exploration by expanding and focusing. And notice how this makes you feel, how this question impacts you. And coaching is not only asking questions. Fortunately or unfortunately, the minute we start asking questions, our old habits of advice giving, sympathizing, interrupting, judging, problem solving jump in. So in the art and science of coaching, we actually teach much more than that. And in order to convince you, I actually won't convince you. I would invite you to join us. This is our gift for you. Scan the QR code, visit the ATD Erickson page, fill in the form, and we will enroll you in 3 sessions of the Art and Science of Coaching, where we teach not only how to ask powerful questions, but also how to structure them in a coaching structure that guarantees tangible outcome within a limited time frame, that actually brings sense of achievement, sense of value to the coachee. So really, and of course, many more competencies there. And I'll quickly jump in to share again our invitation to you. Come, join us, test everything that we are sharing with you. And at the end of your first 3 sessions with us, you could enroll for the full program at 20% off. The bad news about this is that it's a time-limited offer. So use it in the next 3 to 4 weeks and not more than that. Scan, fill in the form, enroll. And the good news is that this offer is not limited to you only. If you can't make it, or if you want to make it with someone you care for, pass this on, pass the link on. We are competent, capable, and passionate enough to welcome everybody who wants to experience solution-focused coaching and its impact. Thank you for your participation and for this co-creative moment, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much, Nadezhda. This was great. And thank you everyone for your participation and for your questions throughout this presentation. Thank you again to Erickson Coaching International and to Francis and Dena for all of your links and resources in the chat. Please make sure to grab all of those links before you leave today. And that concludes Demo Day, everyone. Thank you again to our hosts and panelists and all of the participants. Everyone have a great afternoon.